Welcome to Fabulously Flawed, where the perfectly imperfect come to shine. Marni, along with her sensational sidekick Taylor, are the mother-daughter duo that puts the fun in dysfunction. Every episode, we unpack the chaos of mental health while sprinkling in the sass of pop culture. We're here to share stories, laughs, and lessons that remind you to embrace your quirks and to never, ever let anyone dull your sparkle. So join us as we celebrate the beauty of being fabulously flawed. Let's get real, let's get raw, and let's get ready to add a little extra shimmer to your day.
Hey, fabulously flawed friends. Welcome back to our podcast. I am your host, Marni, and drum roll, please, if I could do it with spotlights. My delicious, dazzling daughter, Taylor, is my co-host, and this is the best time I think we've ever had together.
I know, and I think I look forward to every single episode. Your intro for me, I just love it so much. Like, I think it's so fabulous, the way you introduce me.
Oh, if I could give you, like, the here's Taylor, like, here's Johnny.
Yep.
So welcome to this episode. It is called Anxiety.
Yep.
Like a vault, do we have anxiety?
Yep. Yeah, we could. Severe anxiety.
Well, there's general anxiety, social anxiety. There's multiple symptoms of anxiety, depending on circumstances and situations.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've got generalized anxiety. I've got social anxiety. I mean,
what do you do? What symptoms that do you face with your general anxiety?
So the biggest thing for me, guys, is my chest gets so incredibly tight. Like, that is for sure my main number one.
What are you doing when your chest is getting tight? Are you paying attention to what's going on?
It's the thoughts in my head, just like
the thoughts.
That
constant worrying.
That constant worrying, and I'm just like so anxious. And my chest, you guys, the tightness, like it's debilitating sometimes, to the point where I like cannot do what I needed to do. Like, I was so nervous about something the other day, I couldn't even do my eyeliner. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even do my eyeliner because my hands were shaking so bad.
From what I've learned, read, practice, it's not the act of what you were getting ready to do. It's the unknown.
Yes.
Which
definitely
brings out those symptoms. I remember when I first started making videos during COVID, mm-hmm. and you would watch me tremble and sweat because I was so scared.
You would get yourself so worked up, and then it would happen, and you'd be like, oh, I freaked out for absolutely nothing. And that's usually how it goes with anxiety. You get yourself all, and I'm talking, about myself, and I know a lot of other people too.
Again, we're not doctors. We're not diagnosing. We're just talking about our specifics.
Oh, yeah. Trust me. I wish I was a doctor to help people, including myself. But no, I am just, I suffer from severe anxiety. And basically what I've noticed is that I get myself so crazy worked up over these things, and it happens, and I'm like, oh, I wasted all of that energy on what?
I wish we could take our energy and all the thinking we do, like the what if this happens, why don't we turn it into, well, what if it good happens? What if all this good happens?
And you recently started teaching me that. I was thinking about everything that could go wrong, and you're like, change your mindset right now and think about everything that could go right.
Exactly.
And that changed so much for me.
And what I do now with what I've also said to you is, instead of being nervous, let's be excited. Mm-hmm. Be excited. Yes. And now it's like, okay, I'm excited to go do this podcast with someone I've never met before.
Exactly.
Rather than nervous.
Turn the nerves into excitement. And it is always easier said than done. But, with practice, when I'm going through my anxious, emotions, I think to myself, okay, let me talk myself through this and, convert those emotions into more of a positive feeling versus a negative one.
Do you stop yourself and do that?
I do. More recently.
I do.
I'm
so proud of you.
Within the past year or so, I have, really, really tried to stay more grounded. And because, all those years, I've made myself literally sick.
Nervous wreck,
sweating, heart palpitations, stomach aches. I mean, every physical symptom of anxiety, I have felt it. And
I know, we used to laugh. It's like, okay, what's the ailment today? And it was anxiety. I have a headache. I have this.
Exactly. And I didn't realize that all my nausea spells and headaches, all from anxiety.
Wait, me too. Sometimes in the morning, I'm like, you said to me, are you pregnant? Thank God, no. But I
have get so nauseous.
All of a sudden, I'm like, I'm going to throw up. And I notice now what I was thinking of, what was provoking my inner thoughts. Was it someone talking to me or some voices or reading a message, whatever it may be? All of a sudden I get nauseous and it's bleh.
Right. Yeah. You actually throw up. For me, I just like I'm lucky, I guess, in a sense that when I get nauseous from anxiety, I don't actually like end up throwing up. It usually is just like a dull nausea pain, which I don't know which is worse, but I'm really trying to, take myself when I am feeling those really anxious feelings, to do everything in my power to not, and to take myself into a different mental state, a more positive, lighter one.
With social anxiety, now this is all my subconscious. I don't consciously say, okay, if I saw a neighbor, I have to move. I mean,
right.
But I think I have such a deep fear of being judged that I love meeting people once. Like when we lived in Turnberry or Aventura, I meet the valets, I meet the front desk, but then I never want to see them again.
Yes.
I give everybody that one impression, and I said to my psychiatrist at the time, before she fired me completely, another episode, because it's horrific how a psychiatrist after 7 years fired me. However,
on the other hand,
exactly. She had said to me, try it just once, go back. And it's hard. I'm working, trying to figure out why I don't like to make small talk. Even here at our new office, it's like, okay, I see the same people every day, the reception area. Please don't judge me subconsciously.
Right. Of course. I deal with that too. It's like, we're such social people, but I have like the same thoughts. I will be like, I really don't want to go here because I don't want to have to make conversation with this person.
You know what? I think we're extroverted introverts.
Yes. Wait, literally, yes. We are extroverted introverts. 1,000. I never thought of it that way.
Right? Like we could go somewhere, get on a table, perform, but...
Yes, that's actually so funny you say that, because I was on a date the other night and I was telling the guy that my type of anxiety is like, I could get up in front of the restaurant right now and just start talking.
I could start a Congo line.
But
exactly.
like if I had to make conversation with someone I knew from high school, it would make me sick to my stomach.
Do you know why?
I literally use that like kind of exact same analogy.
Think from what I've been reading, and I'm still healing and still studying, that our brain is only capable of so much, and the exertion, when we know we have like a limited ATM allotment daily of emotions we can use, small talk on someone who means nothing to us when we're already overloaded seems like such a debilitating task.
Perfectly put. Yes, exactly.
And then I also have my problem with posting and ghosting. I don't mean to post stuff.
Oh, posting and ghosting. That's a cute way to put it.
Right?
Rhyme, yeah.
Because I can't take compliments, and then I overthink. Like, what if I don't write back to people who said something nice? Because I'm constantly overthinking and overthinking.
Your thing about this, you can't take compliments. Guys, a couple years ago, my mom literally had me go through her Facebook and respond to people on behalf of her, like their birthday wishes.
I still need you to do that, today, because people like wrote things. I'm like, I don't know what to say back.
She's like, she can't take like, all these nice, kind, words said about her on her birthday. And she literally made me like respond on behalf of her, because she didn't want to obviously leave the people hanging, and they said such nice things, but she could not bring herself, or I'm talking to you, but speaking about you couldn't bring yourself to actually say thank you.
What are the Facebook protocols? Like if somebody I love when people post things, I love it, because if you're out there posting, I love you. Good for you for sharing.
Course, yeah.
I never I love. But somebody wrote me, they were like, I love your smile. I love your smile. Again, thank you, Dr. Malo, for my full set of perfect teeth.
Beautiful teeth, yeah.
But I don't know how to say thank you, because I feel this imposter. I mean, we're going to go back to anxiety, but it's all hand in hand that I feel like a fraud sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like, even with my accolades, I think the most nervous I get is anything I'm going to do when I've never done it before, that the anxiousness, the sweating, the shaking, all of that.
It's the fear of the unknown.
And then having to talk to people on top of it. Oy vey's me, that's a tough one.
And you know what? You said it earlier on in the episode, that anxiety so much, like, let's say I'm anxious about a school play, I wasn't, now to think of it, I wasn't anxious about actually doing the play. I loved that. I was anxious about the outcome. What if I mess up my line? What if I trip on stage? I mean, that was, God, I don't even know why that came to my head. That was like 10 plus years ago.
Well, because you've always been doing something with speaking or performing.
Right. And the act of actually getting on stage and performing in front of people doesn't scare me. It's the what could happen. But I guess, you know what, that's everyone, the fear of the unknown is what really trips me up. But I take it to a whole other level. Like and before dates sometimes, I would make myself physically ill. And my parents and my friends are like, you need to chill the fuck out. Like, this is not that big of a deal. So I am still, I can come on here and talk to you guys about, anxiety and not to feel anxious, but
We're still works in progress.
I am the first one to say that I am still struggling every single day myself, but talking about it and like being here and sharing my insight with you guys is actually healing. Is a healing process for me. This is so therapeutic. Yes.
I love how we say the same thing sometimes, like in sync, because this is very therapeutic. Us talking to each other, we learn more about our mental health together, and we're helping people.
We spend every second together, but when we because, we live together, but when we sit down and we do our podcast, we really escape into a whole other world of genuine, of exchanging information and stories and learning and engaging.
Look at the anxiety I had when you would go to camp.
Yeah.
The amount of clothes and if you had the right stuff. And then when we get there unpacking, I was so,
oh my God,
whether it was sensory and then having to make small talk with the other moms that I never really, I just wasn't, I love them all, but I never wanted to be a part of, let's go for dinner. It's that small talk. Yes. I don't want them judging me.
No, of course. I've experienced that myself growing up with different groups of friends and different, groups of people and whatnot.
I need to research this more and ask my therapist, my new therapist, that why is this that I will go to somebody, get my hair done, love them, give them the best review, but then I don't want to go back because I'm so inwardly helpful.
And I think I know why, because now it's like, there's that expectation that I have to talk again. There's that expectation that I have to make that conversation and maybe make it even better because you've already met them. Now
and it's exhausting.
Yes, now let's get deeper into it. Let's talk about more things.
Oh my God, that is like,
I'm just like a teacher. Because like I said, like 2 minutes ago, that I'm like learning as I'm sitting here talking to you. And now I'm just like, flash, light bulb went off in my head. Maybe that's why. And because I'm thinking about my own personal experiences, and that is what makes sense. Like, I'm like, that's why I don't want to go back and see that person again. There's already that foundation that you now have to like continue to build.
It's funny if we go
that
out.
Pressure too.
If I always say, like, I don't want to run into anybody, and Daddy's like, "You look fine." I go, "No, it's not how I look. I just don't want to have to talk."
That's exactly
how I look.
Wait, that is, Mom. I say we're the same. It's because I'm literally just like, 29 years younger than you. Just this you, but 29 years younger. Yeah. So I totally get that. I don't have a fear of running into people. I don't give a fuck what I look like.
Of course not.
Having to make the conversation.
Oh, if you're
what if it's
necklace.
Awkward? What if it's pulling teeth? It's like, I don't want, even if it's for a minute, I don't want to have to be in any uncomfortable situation.
Nope, no matter what. And sometimes we're like, oh God, there's so-and-so. Should we go say hi? No, because I don't have the energy to make small talk. I really don't care about this or that.
And as I've gotten older, I really stopped giving a fuck what people think of me. I'm never going to see, like, I used to think that everyone I knew in my life, even if I had met them one time for 10 minutes, was just so significant, and that I just gave everyone such like a
power over you.
Power over me. That's a great way to put it. And now, oh my gosh, obviously I've matured, I'm wiser, I'm older, and I am like, damn, I really don't care at all. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And
on the last episode, I hate giving these people any attention, but I'm just using them as examples.
Okay.
The people that had that house party on New Year's that we talked about, they also used to congregate in front of one house, like on Halloween, for example. And they'd sit there, and this is when I was insecure and not sure of who I was and filled with anxiety and social awkwardness and making that small talk.
Yeah.
And I'd walk by, and they'd be sitting there going, "Hey, Marni. Hey, Noah." And I would sit there, start sweating.
Stuck in.
But I allowed it. And then now that I look back, I think, Marni, what the fuck were you like even acknowledging?
I know.
With age comes wisdom.
Oh, absolutely.
But I gave them power. I felt like, I don't know why they made me so nervous. I still don't know. Were they I don't want to say they're not popular. I guess because they were the ones who put themselves out there on social media and let everybody know they were the party house and
that's
things like that.
Perfect way to put it, because what's popular and what's
There's
whatever.
none.
There's no, I hate that word. But yes, exactly. They also weren't the friendliest group of people, so it would make anyone kind
uncomfortable.
of a little bit uncomfortable to have to interact with them.
It's that dark aura over them.
Yes. Auras are so real, people, and there are those with beautiful white shiny auras and those with dark gray cloudy
Black.
auras.
And that's why when you're away from them, and that's why I preach to people, if you're around someone or a situation that's making you feel nauseous, sweaty, shaking,
Get out.
Get out. It's not worth it because we do not get this minute back. Again,
Yes.
we can't go rewind.
Unfortunately, you hear about a new tragedy in the news every day. This person died or this person's sick. And it's like, God, life is so precious, valuable, and short. Why waste a minute, a second doing anything that doesn't bring you anything but a smile to your face?
Even like turn off the news. The news gives people so much anxiety because they over dramatize everything.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Turn off the news. I was getting anxiety over those reels of those moms feeding their kids.
Yes,
right?
you literally, it makes you,
Oh my God.
you
I had to
actually
unfollow.
Yes, you had to actually like take a step back and be like, I cannot look at this person's
It was
content
giving me
anymore.
anxiety
Yeah.
because it was a trigger of something.
And you chose peace. Good
Yes.
for you. You did exactly. And you know what? Back then, I just feel like, not necessarily with like a social media thing, but any situation where you were like continuously uncomfortable, you didn't really know how to handle yourself and remove yourself in a healthy manner.
So my nerves took over, my ADHD took over, and that's when the talking started.
Yes.
And that awkward social situation and conversing with people. It was just, I'm like,
Yeah.
That's my nerves. That's how I handle my anxiety.
I'm just jumping off of what she said, that I'm thinking about my own life, and when I'm in social situations where I am a little uncomfortable, I will overshare, of course.
That's why I was having a trigger, which caused my anxiety that time with that woman who said to me, Marni, I was talking about Bravo and this and sparkles and glitter. And she goes, Marni, what's the color of the sky you live in? Like,
yeah, I hate that was said to you.
I was just
so
being
much
me.
Because what a rude, bitchy, nasty,
she's a fucking
cunty
bitch.
comment.
I
Excuse
know.
my language.
I know some people are like, oh, I hate that word, but you're not saying the C word. You're making it an adjective.
Yeah. Yes, because there are people who act like the C word,
but
and
you know
they
what?
deserve to be
They're just so
acknowledged.
unhappy. They're that unhappy that nobody looked at me and thought, oh, what sky do you live in? They looked at her and they were like, fuck you, man.
Right. It's like it's always like you think of what you say after an argument, but it's like I want to say, what color is the sky in your world? Dark, gray, and miserable? Like, God, bye.
It's called black and gross.
Yeah,
And ew.
I live in my pink, happy, sparkly world. And
Their
you're over there.
world is ew.
Right. Like, it's just, you feel hurt people hurt. I say it all the time. Hurt people hurt. You got to pity them. It's so hard, but you got to feel bad for those that are hurting you because they are so clearly miserable in their own head.
And yeah, I know. And going back, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, but going back to social anxiety, it just thought hit me.
Yeah, no, please share.
If I were to go, when we moved into our neighborhood, I met my neighbor. Loved her. We're outside talking for 20 minutes. I found out she was a nurse. Her dad went to Dr. Malo talking. But if she's outside, I'll never go outside again. Like if she's there, I will wait. I don't care if I need a transplant just to avoid any social situation.
And it's because, you've already met her. Now there's that expectation to continue the conversation.
I cannot believe that aha moment, Tay. That is,
You're welcome.
That's what, when Oprah has her aha moment.
Was that mine right now?
This was my aha moment.
Yeah.
Now I understand it. It racks my brains. When we would go to pick you or Noah up at parties, Daddy always went in and he would be like, we didn't understand it. He's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know.
I know. Major social anxiety. It
Wow.
happens. It's
But yet
part of you.
But yet I'll perform in front of a bazillion
Yes.
trillion people. I could,
We're one and the same.
right?
It's I don't listen, like I am not a doctor. I did not go to school to study anxiety. Based off of my personal experiences, it's just like I guess when you're performing in front of people, there's no expectation to like have actual like individual conversations or like make it personal. It's more just like a show, a performance where it's in front of everyone. Then when it becomes more intimate is when it becomes
handle.
Yes, that's because there's the pressure there is the real to
talk and show people
to
who
make
you
something
are.
of something. Yeah.
Oh my God, Tay, you don't understand. When we were saying before that this podcast is so good for our mental health, what we just talked about is so
Did it just change like the trajectory of your life?
Oh my God. As much as I would love to lose my menopause weight,
I know.
This was a weight lifted off my shoulder of why I do something.
Wow. I'm genuinely like happy that I was able to provide that insight for you because
it makes so much sense now.
I know. I know you struggle with everything anxiety on a daily basis. So if I could do anything to help lighten the situation.
Because I put so much energy, whether it's a nail person, a hair person, an eyebrow person, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And the pressure to always be like, I love Naomi, who was at my old psychiatrist's office, who fired me. I loved going there because I would make her laugh and everything. So she, after 7 years, it became a comfortable whatever. But at first, I would just press the little bell, keep my head down, and didn't want to interact with people more than once. You meet me, great, bye. I don't want to do it again.
And, my advice to you, though, is when you do go to, these professional services, like, whether it be your hair, your nails, or whatever, there really is no obligation to talk about your life. Like, I go to the same, like, nail salon and whatever, and I just, make very surface level small talk because, she's there to do a job. I'm there to get a service. That's truly all it is. It's not a friendship. I mean, it can be if you want, but if it gives you that anxiety, don't make it anything that doesn't have to be,
It's true. I'm trying
Don't make it more than it is.
I don't need to win people over with my personality and go extra mile with stuff.
Be kind and courteous, and you're already doing more than most people, in the world, which is very sad, but true.
There are apps, though. So if people do experience that tightness in their chest and that heavy, you can't breathe and sweating, breathe. There are apps that help you
guided
breathe in.
meditation, yoga practices. Oh, for sure. Take advantage of
breathing in and out and get yourself grounded in those moments and remind yourself, I'm present where I am. Okay, I'm safe right here, right now.
Yeah, I definitely, for me, what kind of relieves that tightness in the chest is the breathing and the taking a moment to truly think about what is happening. And you've taught me this, Mom, what is happening in this very present moment. Because like for me, a lot of people have different types of anxiety, but I would say for me, for the most part, I get myself so worked up over
what could go wrong.
What could go wrong and the unknown, not necessarily like what's happening in that moment, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, I take a moment to be like, okay, in this very moment at this 12:18 p.m., I am fine. Yep. I am okay.
We help each other.
Yes, you really, really did, because then it's like, okay, then my brain kind of is like, oh, okay, maybe we're actually not dying right now. My chest doesn't need to be so tight. I don't need to be so nauseous and clammy. So, you got to talk yourself through it. And listen, guys, I've been struggling with anxiety, consciously for like, I'm 24 now, since I was 11 or 12 years old. So I'm still working on it. I've been on countless medications. I've seen therapists, and it's nothing is a fix-all. But
you're aware of it, and I'm so proud of that.
God, I am so, it's like, oh
because
God, I'm aware of it,
but oh
God, I'm so aware of it. Yes, of course. Now, because I'm so aware of my anxiety and I know how severe it is, everything I do in life almost centers around not being anxious and doing what I can to be happy and live in the moment, because I tend to make myself sick as a dog.
Yep.
Yeah, I really do.
You give emotional reactions so that something should be a level 2 and you give it a level 200.
Absolutely.
So
yes.
I think we both need to start practicing not the what can go wrong, but what can go right.
Yes.
Like us doing our podcast.
Truly.
We sat here so nervous for like months. What if this happens? What if that happens? Now it's like, fuck it. What if something good happens?
Yes.
Y'all are listening. Thank you.
Literally, yes. And that should apply to everything you do in your life, personally, professionally, academically. I mean, anything. It's.
I'm going to be like, take a sweat. I went back to the same hairdresser.
I know. Yay. But and
baby steps.
And life is, and I think we should celebrate. I don't think there's enough I don't think people celebrate enough in life. I think that we should, anything that you do, it could be the smallest thing. It could be
I got out of bed day today.
And it's like celebrate
small
everything,
things.
Romanticize and celebrate everything about your life. Because why not? There's no rules against it. Even if you do the small, like, oh, wow, I was able to manage my anxiety today for the first time ever. Take yourself out for ice cream. Go get a drink. Do whatever makes you happy. Like, celebrate life. It'll make it more fun to live in,
That's true, because me coming to our new office for this past month is more than I left the house, I think, all year, consistently
oh my
working.
Gosh.
It has changed me. So I applaud myself with the baby steps that turned into a bigger step.
Mm-hmm. And look at where it got you, from being depressed hiding away in your closet, your room, your bathroom to...
I cocooned.
Yes, you cocooned to blossoming and going into an office and working every day. It's like you've come to life and you don't let your anxiety and that fear of failure stop you. Just like you were before, and you have overcome it. And my God, Mom, that is something to be so proud of.
Oh, I can't have imposter syndrome with you because you are my baby girl, and that means so much that you have seen me at the beyond low.
It's been the hardest, I think, for me. I mean, obviously, Dad and Noah, my brother, they have their own, personal experiences with it. But seeing you so depressed, what that did to me,
I know
it damaged me. No, but I'm not here.
I know.
I'm here to say, and you have come so incredibly far that all those negative feelings that I've felt and experienced, it's overshadowed now by so much gratitude and love and appreciation for those mental health professionals that have helped you, yourself, your own research.
Even Daddy and I, the way we communicate, Daddy used to think, why is she doing it this way? And then he realized, wait, that's Marnie's way of doing it. And now if I eat a cookie and there's crumbs, instead of going, why are there, it's just we laugh.
Yeah.
Because that's who I am. I make crumbs.
Yeah, exactly. So, back to our whole overarching theme of anxiety for this episode. It sucks and it affects millions and millions of people.
And you don't have to hide it. Like if you're having a panic attack, if you're about to have a test or you're worried about something and your emotions are overcoming you and people say, what's wrong? And you're like, I'm fine. Don't suppress it. Say, you know what? I need a moment. I'm not doing okay right now. It doesn't have to be personal. Why? But don't suppress it. If you need to go get air, I need to go outside and get some air. Don't put yourself in a situation that's going to affect your health even more so.
Right. Of course. Put yourself first in every situation, no matter what. It's so important because you've got your back. No one else has your back like you do. So watch out.
That's true. It's all you have is yourself.
Yeah, love yourself more than anything.
I'm so glad we did this today because every time we finish, like for our emotional checklist, it's like, oh yeah, another one done.
Yes, because I have suffered with, it's my anxiety that didn't let me, push forward it and, get over these steps. And now that I'm finally doing it, every time we finish an episode, I'm like, wow.
This was the best day. We loved it.
It makes us so happy. This is so good for our mental health. And you guys being here and sharing this joy with us.
You don't understand. When Taylor tells me these so-and-so listened or people wrote us saying, I loved your episode, I am so eternally grateful.
Truly.
Because my anxiety was, why am I not getting more noticed? Why am I not doing this? Instead of actually just putting out content to help people, which is all I love to do.
Right, which is what we're, doing this for, to help people, not, for any ulterior motive or anything like that.
So on that note, I think I am just so aha moment out right now that I am sparkling like...
I am so happy that I could make this Tuesday for you like this...
Thank you, sweetheart.
Eye-opening.
No, I'm dying right now.
Sparkly day.
I just realized that. It just answered, oh my, I can't even, guys. So I hope that you're all on a positive note, smiling, enjoying our conversations. I hope we helped a little bit. Dream big, because I know I am.
And feel free to DM us if you want us to talk about, any topic, cover any subject. We got you guys.
And shine as bright as that brightest star in the sky. Never let anyone burst your bubble, and never, ever, 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 ever let anybody dull your sparkle. Until next time, guys, have a fabulous day, and you can listen in 2 more days.
Yes, all right. Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening. Until next time. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Fabulously Flawed. Remember, we drop new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday, so be sure to subscribe and never miss a moment of this dazzling duo. Craving more sparkle? Head over to fabulouslyflawed.com for exclusive content, episode archives, and more. And don't forget to check out Fabulously Flawed on Etsy for tons of amazing products that are sure to brighten your day. Be sure to follow us on socials to keep the conversation going and become a part of our Fabulously Flawed family. Until then, keep embracing your beautiful imperfections and remember, never let anyone dull your sparkle.